Well, good afternoon, guys. We are back down in the wood yard, and I did get the processor going this morning. I figured I would work on that a little bit and try to figure out what was going on with the chain. And I ended up finding out that all of my hydraulic, at least in the glass, was gone. I'll show you guys real quick. For those of you with this machine, this, or was it this guy right here, one that's got all the sawdust on it there, that one right there, them two lines was loose, and it was just, as soon as the splitter would start, it was just dumping fluid. I don't know how it got all over the tank and everything else, unless it maybe deadheaded on something. Either way, came in this morning, and it was still doing the same thing with a fresh chain. So I don't know why it wasn't my first thought to check the fluid, but nonetheless, we are good now. I added maybe a gallon or so. It wasn't all that much, but it was enough to not want to run the conveyor, the deck, and the saw at the same time. So I'll show you guys what we've gotten done so far, and it looks like it might be a stopping point. So this is where we're at. I've been doing this for the past 3.5 hours. It does not take that long to make that mess. Three hours I can get maybe 2 decks done. I figure about a half hour for loading the logs onto the deck or so. Yeah, something like that. But I've been taking that pile that we had, and basically all the sawdust from over here that I wanted to specifically keep off the trail, because I know how big of a mess it can get once it gets wet. But today we started to get the old rays coming down, and I had a little river floating down my trail here. So I mean, you could still see it's still flowing here a little bit, and it's not extremely warm out, but it's the sun's hot enough to make a mess of it. So wasn't really sure what we were gonna have for content today, so I just been working kind of by myself. You guys have seen a lot of this stuff go on, and then all of a sudden the conveyor chain found me some content. So like I said, we got this thing started here. The conveyor's been working awesome, nice and full. I'm trying to fill in this back. I actually just got in there before this happened and pushed it all down and tried to make a ramp here. That way it could keep filling, kind of like the sides are here, where there's not too much difference in the pitch. This side especially, it's favoring this side pretty good, but that's what I'm looking for. If I can keep going a little bit higher with it, that'd be even better, but it's making the wood disappear. So I'm not sure what exactly happened, but I know that it was loud enough to hear over the work tunes there. And how I'm gonna make this work, I don't really know either, because it's not tight, but it's not loose. So I've got to do a little YouTube search, because they're just these chain links. Of course, on the bottom side it doesn't help you, but on the top side, well, you can see what we got binding up here, and it's stuck. Once it gets slack, I noticed that it gets sucked into here. But these links here, you can see now they're covered in oil. That's going to be fun too. But they've got an open channel, so they're like an open, how do I show this? They're like like a C, and the chain link itself sits in it, and then basically, oh boy, we got parts and everything else down here. Maybe we'll figure out what happened. So it's open, and then you just add the chain in and you close it. So I don't know if that's just peening it over with a hammer, but we're gonna learn today. So I'll figure out what I'm gonna do with the camera, and of course time lapse this, because there's gonna be a little bit of time involved, I'm pretty sure. So we will talk to you guys in a bit. Well, time lapse didn't even get to a time lapse, to be honest with you. I like just getting after it when I can, and today's been one of them days. So I got it hooked back up. Thank God everything on this thing is steel, because it was basically my anvil to beat these guys apart. I learned there is no videos on YouTube, at least that I could find, about the detachable hook link chains, something like battery 2. I think today's gonna be an early one. All right, so detachable hook link chains. First, let me bring you over here, because I don't know before that battery died if we got any of this. So I didn't get to doing a time lapse for you guys. I apologize, but I just kind of got after it. I did pull the tops off, the sprockets, the idlers. I've got it still on these drives, and you can see just how waterproofed this thing is. Okay, so what ended up happening was, these guys, if they're tight, like I had mentioned before, they bind and they kink. So loosen them up. This one's tight as well. Oh, actually no, I just loosened this one up. So I gotta weld them back on there. One here, one on that side, and then loosen up the sprockets up top, throw it back on there. But that's going to be a tomorrow job, so I'll do a rough demonstration. It was not an easy thing. I smashed up my thumb pretty good and the other one through the glove. But good news is I do have another waterproof glove, or at least another set of them, because they are covered in oil. All right, so this is your detachable hook link chain. Okay, and you can see it's open. Now I thought you had to pry that apart, but really what you need to do is smack your hand about 10-15 times in the process of unhooking. So it does one of these, and these being brand new, they're tight, so I'll probably have to use an anvil, something substantial, to mash them down. The ones on the machine, it just kind of went back in. It didn't come out easy, but the thank God they went right back together. Now, are they gonna last? Probably not, and I'll probably have to source maybe Tractor Supply or something like that. It's got these chains in stock. What else do we got? So I guess I'll end up wrapping this up here. I'm done with this until I get them two paddles back welded on. Yeah, but the pile is, I'm going to say, maybe 4 foot taller than the other one already, and we're almost at maximum capacity. You could see it's just about vertical over here for wood, so it's only gonna do that so much before it just kind of falls off the side like it's already started to do. So I don't know. I'm just, thank the good Lord that just went together as slick as it did. It came apart like a bear, but the hard part of putting it back together, having it be tight enough, I'll take it. And I removed one link from both. The links that broke on both paddles, which was the weirdest thing. So there must have been something that got in between this and the surface up here, I'm thinking. And when it got to the end, it got bound, because it broke this one here. Yeah, it broke that one there, and it broke this one here, which is kind of weird. But nonetheless, it is fixed, at least for one more rotation. But if you guys want to see if we have a pretty good fire, come back tomorrow. I'm gonna have to bring the welder out here and the generator and try to weld this flat surface to that flat surface. Yeah, they must have had tabs on them for the bolts, because these don't. They're just whatever. So like I said, I couldn't even find a video on this detachable hook loop system. So I guess maybe I'll make one on them. I don't know. Maybe it's just so easy anybody could do it, but it did take me a little bit of thinking when I couldn't just pry them apart. But nonetheless, guys, it was an all over video. I apologize about it, but God bless y'all. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.